Hello, everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of PartnerUp. Today, we are discussing the topic leveraging ecosystem partnership to drive financial inclusion in Africa. Financial inclusion is a critical topic, especially in the region like Africa, where millions still lack access to basic financial service. According to World Bank, approximately 66% of adults in the sub-Saharan Africa are unbanked, and over 70% of people do not have access to health insurance. I know that might sound crazy, but it's the truth. This is why partnership plays a pivotal role, especially in sectors like micropensions, banking, and health insurance, where leveraging the right partners are significantly reducing the gap. Today, we are very fortunate to have Azuka Silas, manager of agency banking micropensions at Stanbic IBTC, one of the leading organizations in Africa that is making strides in driving financial inclusion through strategic partnerships. Azuka is responsible for managing a network of agents that helps bring financial products to underserved communities. And we are discussing these partnerships. We are discussing how these partnerships are transforming lives. I am your co-host, Alera Boyo, and alongside me is my wonderful co-anchor, Amanda Etuk. And I'm excited today because we'll be sharing our thoughts on how powerful partnership is driving financial inclusion. Hey, Boo.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here today. And this is a topic that is very close to our hearts. We hear a lot of people pander financial inclusion. But what does it really mean? And then how do you even drive this product? You know, this show is all about partnerships.
Yeah.
And we want to even know how Azuka, in his role, has been able to bring some of these very critical products closer to everyone.
Yeah.
That's why it's called financial inclusion.
Yep. And I'm really excited, to be honest. I realized, I think it was in 2022 that I realized that a lot of people really didn't have health insurance and micropensions. You know, most of the time we get our jobs, that's when we get pensions. But before then, nobody even knows what pension is about. Nobody cares about their old age or what's going to happen to them after they, retire or,
It's you're even talking about the big things. You're talking
Right.
about health insurance. You're talking about pensions. For people who have not eaten, they feel like, is it not somebody that has gotten money that will be able to save?
Right.
So I feel like some of these things are difficult sales or difficult ideas to sell, especially in this part of the world, because there's a very low trust in the system to
Yeah.
even start off with. Then people feel they don't even have enough. Talk less of health insurance and financial inclusion. It just seems like you're talking above people's heads.
Yeah.
I know we're going to get to you, Azuka, but I'm really excited to learn how you've sold something that is so difficult when everyone is only thinking about bread and butter.
I agree. And it's the good thing again is that with Stanbic, I mean, they've been amazing with, pensions, regular pensions for
Yeah.
the privileged guys. And now that we're looking at underserved communities, it's really interesting. I think it was before 2020 was when, the different industries were focusing on financial inclusion, including banks, insurance companies, and the pension companies. So right now, today, Azuka is going to dive deep into the conversation with us, explain what financial inclusion means to some of you that do not even already know what it is,
Yeah.
and even shed more light because that's a superpower, right? So it's going to give us tips on how best to get into that market. I think when I was working with, I think it was Bumper, we wanted to start an agency banking network, mostly for the small businesses that would really need the Bumper app to put their business online and the likes. And I won't lie to you, it was hard at the time. And for me, it was because I didn't have the right information. And I mean, when you're moving into a new field or you're working on a new project, it's important that you have the right sources of people that can even advise you. It's okay for you not to know it. You cannot know everything. But what's important that you have somebody who has done it before that can guide you. And I wish I knew Azuka at the time, so that he would have given me his tips and superpower so that I would be able to smash my goals.
This episode is for anyone in a role where you have to acquire customers by the thousands. I'm not saying close your first 10 B2B partners. I'm talking about customer acquisition in the thousands. So if you're in a role that is applicable to, high scale or large scale onboarding processes, you should definitely listen to today's episode.
I agree. So guys, if you have tips on managing on knowing how to, like, we need you to comment, right? So as you're watching us live on YouTube, please go on the comment section. This conversation is promising to be a very interesting conversation. So please go to the comment section and type your questions or your comments. Tell us how you have been, if you have done agency network before for any project, and if you have, how have you been able to scale through? What were the challenges that you experienced? And if there's a tip you need to share with us, it'll be great to see it. As well as, Azuka would also be checking the comments much later to let us know if, you guys were able to either provide good answers or, to check your comments.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
So much. So we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back with our wellness check. Just stay with us. Welcome back, and thank you so much for staying with us. So before we go into our next segment, which is the wellness check, I need you guys to please stick around with us for the entire show. As I said again, we would be talking about, how you can actually, push financial inclusion across various sectors. But this time around, we're talking about, pushing it in the micro pension space. So if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, you have to go to YouTube and at Official Upgrade TV on YouTube. Please subscribe to our channel, and also go on Instagram and follow us at PartnerUp_AB World for the latest updates on all the things we have to do. So please share with your colleagues and friends. And then, of course, like I said, we'll always, check your comments and bring it back to you. And for our wellness check today, I want us to talk about what many people have been facing, the type of stress people have been facing at work, which is what? Burnt out prevention. In this fast-paced world, we have been doing too much. We are working from January to December. It's so easy to get caught up in deadlines, endless meetings, endless emails. We're doing too much. We know that we're doing too much. So one of the most effective ways to manage stress is to avoid burnout. And it basically you can actually set clear boundaries. Number one, you can actually make some activities, add some activities in your process that you're doing, in all your daily activities. Go outside, do things outside work because you need to recharge. Personally, I'm experiencing burnout right now, and I know for a fact that I've been doing too much and I need to rest. My neck hurts, my body hurts, but at the same time, like, we all know that we have to do the work, right? But you also need to remember that you have to stay safe and also stay better. So Amanda, I want to ask you, give us a tip today on how to, resist burnout.
So I'm going to talk about wellness for a really short time. One thing I realized is that people think self-care is all about giving yourself a treat. They think self-care is when you buy yourself something nice, or when you buy a new dress, where you have desserts, where you have things like that. But I think another important facet of self-care is being able to do the hard things that your future self would thank you for.
Yeah.
So starting today, I am onboarding Alero as my accountability partner.
Yes, please.
December must not miss this version of me.
Oh my God.
I know people always wait for the new year to set New Year's resolutions, goals, or things that, fitness goals. But I think that starting now, we should just pay better attention to our bodies, pay better attention to our health. And one of the ways to do that is really watching what we eat. This is a shock coming from someone who has an obvious sweet tooth. But I think that wellness is doing the hard things that your body will thank you for. A lot of us are, advancing in age, as I like to say, and some of these things just have to be done. So if you don't have a fitness routine, join Alera and I's 30-day accountability check, because we're going to be walking for 30 minutes every day.
I'm laughing because I'm like, I have to do it.
No, you have to do it because
I
we
have
have
to
to
do it.
come back and give feedback to say, oh,
Yeah.
how did that go? So we want to walk 30 minutes every day.
Yeah.
Just nothing too serious, nothing.
Moving our body.
We just
will be
want
the
to move
first
our
thing.
body. So that's the first thing that we want to do, just to stay. I would have said we should do a no alcohol in November, but we're in the middle of the month already. So I know some people might have already broken that rule.
I'm thinking.
So, but it's just basically to prime our minds. January 1st is just another date, but still, everyone is talking about growth. I've asked 2 people this morning, what are you looking forward to in 2025? And they've said growth. We didn't plan it all. We didn't plan this, but they've said growth.
Good.
And growth starts with making promises to yourself and keeping them. It's very easy to keep promises you make to other people, but it's difficult to hold yourself accountable because what's going to happen?
It's a
Nothing.
lot.
There are no consequences, or there are no obvious consequences when you disappoint yourself.
In the immediate, until you want to wear that dress, and you're like, oh my God, my stomach is too big for this dress.
So those are even the aesthetic things, but being able to promise yourself something and fulfill it, is a very huge confidence boost. One of my friends, Kami of Lagos Weekender, she asked me, what's the one thing that you've done that you're very proud of? And I was like, I can't think of anything. But she's so driven to the point where if she decides that she's going to do something, she usually follows through. And that's such a superpower to have. Just being able to say, I'm going to do this thing, and you're going to do it. Keeping promises to yourself. I think that's the wellness check for today. That's the gospel today.
Oh my
That's
God.
what I have been asked to tell you. Keep promises to yourself. That's the number one measure of success. Tell yourself you're going to do this and follow through. If you're able to do that, there's a confidence and a whole new respect that you have for yourself. If you can say no to difficult things, then
why do I feel like you are talking to me?
I guess this message is for you today, sister.
Hey, because so I started physical health.
Yeah.
I think it was in March that I decided that I wanted abs. So I was telling myself that road to 40.
Azuka just gave you a side eye. We've not introduced our guest Azuka yet, but when Alero mentioned abs, there was a look, but no